All right, let's do this. Whoa.
Hello and welcome to the Worst Movie Ever Made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind, to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci and Bob Hessick. Hey guys, how are you and why are we doing Tiptoes?
Tiptoe through the forest, through the meadow, on the willow tree. Oh, tiptoe through the tulips with me. I don't know.
Good.
I'm not doing great. Despite me being sick, I have an excellent falsetto, as you could hear.
Yeah.
Who's describing it this week?
Bob, I think.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay.
Yeah, so 3 Oscar winners and an Emmy winner come together for a movie. What could go wrong?
I can tell you what's going to go wrong, Bob. I have a clip for you.
Look how you keep saying midgets, you're gonna piss a whole bunch of people off.
That did go wrong.
All right. So I'll see if I can out unclass that.
Okay.
I'll try to keep this short.
Oh no.
This little tale of love begins with a couple of normies who are having a baby, but the female normie doesn't know that the male normie has an entire family of dwarfs.
Yep.
A few dwarf relationships mixed in with some normie/dwarf and sexual encounters
True.
make up the second act of this movie, only to conclude with a non-ending and no actual resolution to anything.
That is so
Fair.
true and pissed me off so hard.
Yes.
I had a really tough time with this movie. Well, let's see, and thank you for that, Bob. Let's see what the YouTube patrons think of this one.
Ah,
Sitting on the side of the road in the
I'm not
middle
on my A
of
game today.
nowhere.
Okay, that's bingo card. Right?
Sounds awfully
Yeah, there you go.
familiar.
It's good though.
no, it isn't. YouTube comments. The best line ever from a 6-foot-tall Matthew McConaughey yelling, "I'm a midget." I want to point out this is the most little people I've ever seen. I love the doctor, just happens to be a little person. They wasted Peter Dinklage Peter D, as is he could have played the title role. Gary Oldman could have been the twin, and Matthew, the friend of Oldman. I love the shots where you see Oldman's legs. Next comment. This is by far the greatest movie ever made. The performance of a lifetime. Next comment. Definitely one of those movies that was made part of a deal to get another movie made. That's my prevailing theory. Next comment. Real question, but do midgets only hang out with other midgets? One second. That's real quickly.
Look how you keep saying midgets, you're gonna piss a whole bunch of people off.
Okay. Next comment. I'm sorry, but what the hell is that? When I left my son's father, my first thought was not to go find his brother. All excellent actors, just a weird conclusion. Next comment. What the hell kind of ending was that? It's like they ran the movie into a ditch and abandoned it. And then the reply to that is, yeah, ending just confirmed that watching it was a total waste of time.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. It was a complete
Yes.
waste of time. Hour and 40 minutes. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Is that all? Is that all of the YouTube?
That's all of it, yes.
Stunningly accurate this week. A lack of emojis just goes to show
Yeah.
the people who were commenting this week did not have the mental sickness you normally see on YouTube. Let's
Yeah,
go
except
ahead now.
for that one- Except for that one guy that was into Gary Oldman's legs for some reason.
All right, fair, but I mean,
Okay.
I
was
don't know.
interesting.
I don't think you saw, to be honest, I don't think you saw Gary Oldman's legs a single time in this movie.
Yeah. True. Very
I'm
true.
pretty sure. Let's throw it to test number 1. This is the test where we compare the bad movie in question to other movies in its, region, movies like it. This is test number 1, the worst of its kind.
I feel like somebody stuck a big club up my ass.
The worst
And it hurts.
of its kind.
I've got to figure out a way to get it out of there.
Okay, well, I don't think there really were any movies like this one. So it's kind of weird. We have Monsters Ball with Halle Berry in 85. Freeway with Witherspoon and Sutherland, one I haven't seen, but I've heard it's actually pretty decent.
Never
Witherspoon, I think Witherspoon plays like a night walking woman, let's say.
A woman of the
And
night, I
she's-
believe what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. I like night walking woman though.
Or a
Sounds
lot
like a
lizard.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot lizard. She's a lot lizard. 76 there. Bernie, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Jack Black and Matthew McConaughey. That's why that one's here. If you haven't seen it, it's actually really good. Bernie plays this guy, or Bernie. Jack Black plays this guy, Bernie, who kills this older woman, but you don't blame him. She takes him on as like her handyman, do everything, kind of best friend,
Oh,
buddy.
I
They
heard about
travel
that, yeah.
together and stuff. And she drives him crazy, but he also is standing to inherit her fortune. So, it's
Mhm.
hazy on why he kills her. Good movie. And it's based on a true story, but what they say about based, and that is like anywhere from not at all factual to pretty close.
Yeah.
So take that with a grain of salt. We Are Marshall McConaughey again, 49%. Haven't seen that one. Don't care to.
Mhm.
How about you guys?
No.
And Underworld, we gave Kate Beckinsale a little zoom in on that one with a 31. That was kind of a cult classic. I don't know what's going on with that at a 31, but I haven't seen it. You guys?
No.
Another one I never really was interested in. She is beautiful. I'll give her that. So there was a little bit of intrigue, but not enough to make me actually
That's
get there
about
and
it,
watch it.
though.
Yeah. Average of a 65.8. How did Tiptoes do?
7.
That's a fair guess.
10?
That's also a fair guess. Believe it or not, a 20.
Hmm.
Okay.
I don't know how. I don't know how it achieved a 20.
There's no
20
way this
points
was
for what?
4 times better than Christmas with the Cranks.
Agreed. I'd rather watch Christmas with Cranks. Negative 45.8 and worst of its kind. A pretty solid score. We'll see how it stacks up against our current season champion later. For now, we're going to throw it to our limerick version of another summary of the movie just for fun. This is Ain't That a Bitch?
But for all you Hulkamaniacs that haven't seen No Holds Barred yet, I'm making a list, and I'm checking it twice, and you better go see No Holds Barred. Otherwise, I'll body slam you when I see you. Hulkamaniacs, what you gonna do when No Holds Barred runs wild on you?
Test number 2. Ain't that a pitch? I think I went first last week. Okay,
Yeah.
Rob, go ahead.
There once was a true detective who had a recessive gene that was selective. He married a babe who scored a dwarf from her legs, and he ran away because it was defective.
Oh, nice. Very nice, Rob. Opening salvo. Bob, you do not have to go to second if you don't want. I feel like you're kind of in the go second ditch right now where Rob and I keep flopping on who goes first, who goes second. You get stuck second. So,
Well, I guess I'll go second, then I'll go first next week.
okay, that works.
Okay, so there once was an average-sized human with an entire little family. No, it's not an illusion. Peter Dinklage does a bad French accent. My social media feed is now dwarf content. If Chris gets to pick another movie, there will be a pod revolution.
Come on, I'm picking perfect movies.
No,
It's
this
great.
definitely fits the mold for what we're trying to do here.
Absolutely. And Bob, I have good news for you later in the pod, and I think you might already know what that is. But
Okay.
all right, here we go. Tiptoes in general has so many faults. So boring too that I'd rather watch golf. Steven is so in denial that he disowns his own child and makes room for his brother, Home Wreck-It Rolf.
Oh, Chris. 4.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna double up with Bob on that. 4.5.
Oh,
Chris win.
hell yeah. Was it the home wreck at Rolf?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the cherry on the top. Rolf. Yes,
Yeah.
that was the cherry on the top of the cupcake.
Perfect. Mwah.
Sweet. Okay, I'll jot that down as we throw it to test number 3. Thank you again for the victory. I can't believe you guys ever give me a win after how much I put you through. But test number 3 is the most offensive.
Credit where it's due.
Oh,
you.
Jimmy, don't even
Well,
worry
no,
about
no,
it.
no, look at me. Don't think about anything.
We'd like
I want
to
to ask
see
you
you
a question. When you came pulling in here, did you notice a sign on the front of my house that said dead
Saddle.
storage?
Jimmy, you know I ain't seen no shit.
Did you notice a sign in the front of my house that said dead
Saddle.
storage?
No, I didn't.
You know why you didn't see that sign? Because it ain't there, because storing dead
Saddle.
ain't my fucking business. That's why.
The most offensive. I can't
I
wait.
really
for
like
these.
the. Go ahead, Rob.
I can't wait for these. That's all.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the background music to that bumper. I've always focused on Tarantino and you, and never really the backtrack. But I thought that
It's
was nice.
Mystery Fish by Aesop Rock.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Nice.
Number 1, totally made up Little People Defense League. It's a big banner hanging over the the official meeting they had. There are meetings of this kind, but there is nothing called the Little People Defense League. And I think I take offense because of the defense.
Yeah.
In the statement, it's not like we're going to go to war on their behalf. They don't need us to physically or even verbally defend them. They can do that themselves. They don't need defense.
And if we went to war with them, it'd be a no-brainer. Like we would win.
Rob. Okay.
I was gonna suggest promoting this toward little people listenership, but now forget it. Just forget it. No hashtag game on that front.
Bob, the way that you wrote the summary of the movie for the beginning, starting off, not so sure they would have loved that either, to be totally frank.
Normie is an anti-average person slur, so shut up.
True. Okay. But in short, or a little tail, or whatever, this is blatant. All right, number 2, pregnancy panic. This is never good. Of course, Matthew McConaughey, Stephen doesn't explain to Carol that there's a chance that it could be a little person, but even if that is the case, panicking about the pregnancy is never the way to go. That's going to be rather unsettling, I think, for the woman
you're supposed
involved.
to jump with joy, have a loving embrace, then you go to another room and you scream into a pillow.
Yeah.
And then you bust out the adding machine, then you yell fuck over and over again. But not
exactly.
You do it in private.
And then in the in the movie Knocked Up, when Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd are laughing, like joking about jumping into a Bronco like OJ and just heading for the border, that's usually what I think of. Pretty funny. But you don't do that then. You tell her how excited you are. Which, by the way, I'm sure all 3 of us were very excited because we were all very into it. But not Matthew McConaughey. Let's throw it to a clip. Nice early clip. This one is number 3, and it's Don't Care.
What did you think I was going to do when I found out your family were all midgets? I mean, did you think I'd just walk away?
Look, you keep saying midgets, you're gonna piss a whole bunch of people off, okay?
You know, I really don't care about that stuff, okay?
Okay.
Would it be that big of a deal if our kid was a dwarf?
Look, it's not something you just walk into.
Well, you could have told me.
It's not the fact that it is the fact that she says midget, but it's also the fact that she says she doesn't care.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't care if that's offensive. Why? Why include that? Are we supposed to dislike her in the beginning? This is one of the major flaws of the movie, and I don't know that I summed it up in the catch-all, and I think you guys probably agree, but the character arcs are all fucked up for everybody. I don't know who, in some instances, I feel like I'm rooting for and cheering for certain characters, and then by the end of the movie, or in reverse, I feel like I don't like them at all. So I don't really understand it.
I don't know who this movie is for or who I'm supposed to root for.
Yeah, the character arcs are flat. There are no arcs.
Yeah, agreed. Number 4, this is exchanging expectoration in a park full of peewees. Peter Dinklage's Maurice, I believe it was, and Lucy, what's her name? Patricia Arquette.
Yeah.
Are in a park with a bunch of kids. They lay down a blanket and just start going to town on each other. I mean, mouth-wise anyway. I guess it's not more effective than that. It could have been. Like number 5, secret soiree sexies behind see-through walls.
Yeah, glass walls.
Yeah. What the hell are they doing? They got the lights out, but give me a break. They're in the next room. Like, it's an outside party with a whole bunch of people. And they're Sally. You know what? I thought she was pretty. Little person. And Jerry, the guy hosting the party, that's maybe supposed to be a comedy element. I don't know. Who's opening a beer? But it reminded me of like an Eddie Murphy character from like Coming to America.
Yeah.
You know, like with his bouffant hair and stuff like that. Anyway, they make their way into a like glass room right next to the party and turn the lights out and just start banging on a piano.
Yeah.
And then Gary Oldman's character, who is like into Sally, comes in, turns the lights on. Everybody at the party now sees you doing the thing. And I don't know if that's so that here's why. It's a device, I guess, so that we know that Carol and Steven know exactly what happened and there's no denying it. So Rolf is off the hook with Sally. They understand why he's not interested anymore. Or whatever. It's to expedite it. But what a ridiculous situation.
Yeah.
He still invites her to the wedding, though.
He does. That's true.
Yeah.
She's still around.
Fucked up.
Wow. Say that again. Number 6 is...
Fucked up.
Can't sleep.
What's the matter?
It's not too late to think about adopting.
I'm not one of those crazy anti-abortion people, Steven. You know that. But I want this baby.
Having a fucked up kid is no bed of roses, Carol.
Do not apply the term fucked up to our child, okay?
You know what I mean?
Well, what was Ralph's childhood like? Did the other kids give him a hard time?
No, not really. There's other problems with being little besides the social stuff, you know?
What medical stuff?
Yeah. I mean, when Ralph was a kid, he was in a lot of pain. He used to cry all the time.
Why? Being a little person hurts?
Yeah.
Being a little person hurts.
How? Catch-all territory, but like credit to McConaughey for like... I think he's a very good actor.
He's great.
He has method elements in a lot of his later roles, but to keep a straight face.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Principal photography is fucking astounding.
And you're gonna hear more from that conversation coming up in a different test.
You want to add the offensive to that? I mean, from a mental health standpoint, calling anti-abortion people crazy. I mean,
yeah, true.
I'm not anti-abortion, but I also don't think they're crazy.
No, I mean, I guess I can understand where they're coming from. What they think is true about abortion. If I felt that way, I would probably be, a little fervent. But.
There's a Louis C.K. bit, and he sums it up perfectly. He's like, in their mind, they think you're murdering a baby.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Like that's hard. It's a hard hurdle to jump over.
Yeah.
Mentally.
Right. But that doesn't make them crazy. To your point, Bob. Number 7, and I'm not going to elaborate too much on this, but there's Jewish wedding jokes when they're all eating together at the table as a family.
Yeah.
Which I just thought was an odd. It's just an odd dig.
It was a tension because they were like the elephant in the room was clearly they're all little people and they just met, and like they're like, but we're gonna I see your little person dilemma, but I'm gonna raise you Jews.
Yeah, good point, Rob.
Fuck?
I'm waiting for Chris to bust out the 57 minutes and 57 seconds clip.
Oh my god!
Any second now.
You know it. Okay, so it's not in this test, but it is coming up, and you might hear a drum roll just before that moment. It is very strange dialogue between the father of the normie Kate Beckinsale's Carol. And he gets drunk at the party and says some wild stuff, and we'll see that in a little bit. So hang on with us. Not that we need to foreshadow to keep you with us because this is funny. But number 8, destroying the door of the doctors. Yeah. Matthew McConaughey gets really pissed off that his baby is a little person.
Is it the door or the wall?
I thought it was a door. I thought it seemed like little.
Let's go for the alliteration.
Either way, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, okay. So maybe, maybe it was a wall. Maybe that doesn't go with the flow as well. Number 9, Steven says, and this is okay. So I got to give a little context to this. Steven is Matthew McConaughey's character, the guy that just punched the wall, and Carol and the doctor are like, "You need to calm down. You need to calm down." And he's like, "What I need is some chromosomes." Which almost went into bad dialogue, but it's offensive too. I've got 2 more before I ask for mentions. Number 10 is breastfeeding baby booze.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's at the log cabin just having beers. And Maurice is like, "Isn't it not good to feed your baby alcohol through the breast milk?" or whatever Peter Dinklage says. Yeah. And she's like, whatever. Just keeps letting the baby suck away at the nip, so to speak.
Yeah.
I wish that was a better French accent than his, but it wasn't.
Well, you got to go bad. You already said.
Yeah.
I definitely could do better. I'm not going to do it right now, though.
Exactly.
But, some other time.
You could do
that. For sure. Here it is. Ha ha ha. All right. Number 11, and this is my biggest one, honestly. Despite the clips and everything, Gary Oldman gets the gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in my catch-all territory, so I'll bring that up a little later.
Well, if you don't know what I mean, Gary Oldman plays a little person in this movie. Gary Oldman, if you hadn't noticed, is not a little person. So to get the role, he had to go to auditions, I'm assuming.
Standing in line, and he's
like, there's like 30 people, and the 10th person is 6 feet tall, and the other 29. It's like, how did Gary Oldman get this role? I don't understand it at all. It's like if they cast Jim Carrey as the Black Panther, like
I think it goes to that YouTube comment where like I think certain people had certain contractual obligations. They're like, you got to do this movie before you do your next.
I mean, Gary Oldman's great. He's a great actor. He's one of my favorite actors, actually. But he definitely took
same.
Yeah, he took a ding here. Like it really hurts. But Bob, we were just joking recently about Leon the Professional and how Gary Oldman. We were talking about a line in that movie. How he can pull off the over the top like that. The Fifth Element. Have you ever seen True Romance? He's obviously good in the Batman movies. I mean, he's all over the place. He's so good. And he does the method acting, and he body change, like makeup and weight and stuff like, you know what I mean? He just goes full bore, and I love him for that. But to go little person is offensive. Let's be honest.
Yeah, agreed.
It's just offensive. It's 2002, so I guess it wasn't offensive yet. I mean, they were making movies like The Animal, and Rob Schneider is a stapler and stuff. So.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else you want to mention?
Yes. White girls with cornrows.
Girls cornrows. That's awesome.
I don't know. It's like you went on a family vacation to St. Thomas and you had to stop at one of the kiosks before getting on the plane,
Yeah, I do know. Bob, you got anything, or you want to move on?
No, I got nothing.
Cool. Let's throw it to your ad read.
Okay.
Going to Ponderosa.
Here I am, just like Bill Cosby in the new movie Leonard Part 6, on yet another secret mission. Arriving, I enter cautiously. Then I see it.
Now get a Leonard Part 6 mini spy camera at Ponderosa for only 99 cents with any purchase.
All right.
Hi, Leonard.
Rob's ad read.
There's a family feeling at Ponderosa.
Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by the new Helen Keller biopic. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll wonder why she stopped communicating with the outside world the second her Marxist mouthpiece passed away and went back to being a mute who doesn't have poignant and concise viewpoints about the proletariat. Isn't that funny how that worked out? Helen Keller, our nation's greatest fraud.
Boy, oh boy.
I'm
That
going to
is
go on record.
Dangerous territory, Rob.
I'm going to go on record right now. I saved it for this episode, A. And B, I'm glad we're not a big podcast yet because this is the episode that cancels us.
This is got to be one of more offensive. I haven't felt like a movie podcast has been this offensive since Senseless. You know what, Rob? I usually write down your ad reads, the worst production, even the fact or no fact title that Bob offers up. So if you don't mind spelling that for me.
Sure. 1 second. HNNNGHHNNN space BRRRUHHHNNNGHH.
Oh my god.
Thank you. I knew you had that. I knew you had that written out. Okay, test number 4, the worst dialogue, please.
Some really bad dialogue.
You could drop this guy off at the Arctic Circle wearing a pair of bikini underwear without his toothbrush, and tomorrow afternoon he's going to show up at your poolside with $1 million smile and a fistful of pesos.
God, I hope you guys are ready for this. All 5 of these are ridiculous. I think number 4 might be the weakest. Rob, do you mind doing Gas Attack first?
Sure. So that's number.
Let's make it number
5.
Yeah.
5. Gas Attack.
Well, until you do, you can stay here as long as you want.
Superb. We need a woman around here. Someone to do the dishes, someone to wash the clothes.
In your dreams, pal.
You know what, Maurice? You probably liked it in the dark ages when we were scrubbing the skid marks out of your loincloth. Huh?
I think the women's liberation movement is an excuse for every poor female pig who needed a reason not to clean up after themselves.
You know what, Maurice? Until you stop blasting a hole in the ozone layer with your toxic gas attacks, this little maid's on an extended coffee break.
Okay.
Just for some context, why that is so bad, they're actually breaking up.
Yeah.
Like they break up later that night. You know, they're actually arguing.
Right.
It's not that wasn't played for. I mean, it was supposed to be funny because you go to they cut to Kate Beckinsale who's laughing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's not funny, and it's actually meant to be like kind of breakup dialogue. Totally ridiculous. But yeah, the whole I didn't get Maurice. I didn't understand his character. He's like I don't know, like almost an anarchist, you know?
Yes, he's a Marxist. According to the write-up, he's a Marxist.
Yeah, he's a Marxist, but he's not a Marxist, though. He's
not.
He's an agent of chaos. All right, number
4 yard.
And now this will be Love Nest.
May! I'm sorry. Please move along. We're making a love nest in here. It's 3 o'clock and I want to go home.
Go away. They're eating each other.
Oh my god.
What is that? Like, should I even ask what he means? I think I know what he means by that.
Yeah.
You do.
Does he mean? Okay, he does mean that. Okay. All right, then number 3. Oh man, this is where it gets really crazy. I'm a fart.
Oh, really? No, I'm sorry. You're lonely. Yeah, well, maybe your security guard pal. Now, maybe he could come over and comfort you. No, really, Sally, I'm not being snide. No. You know, okay, I'm a bastard. All right, yeah, I'm a motherfucker. I'm a dick too. Yeah, I'm a fuckwad. I'm a fucking fart.
Is it okay? So he gets interrupted by Carol there, mid scream, but Was he meant to say fart, or was he? I couldn't figure out what other word he might have been saying.
I can imagine that scene taking like 10 takes to shoot, and then like the producer's like, "That's the one, that's the keeper." I'm a fart.
Well, that reminds me of the fact that Gary Oldman is English and he's putting on a really Southern-ish American accent.
I did not realize that. Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, now he may be my favorite actor. He may be number one.
He's up there with the guy from House. Yeah.
Yeah, he's up there with the guy from House now. No, not for me. I've actually never watched House. But
Me either.
Yeah, he's definitely up there now. Wow, that's really cool. All right, number. Let's go with what?
Have you ever been involved with a little person sexually?
No, just kid stuff, you know? You know, all the kids would come over, we'd sit in a circle, play doctor, and that kind of thing. It could have been more than 10 or 12, so that doesn't really count.
Was it you had a circle jerk with a bunch of little people? I would love to see that.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah. It's so strange. You had a circle jerk with a bunch of little people, and they were 10 or 11 years old, and she wants to watch that happen?
Why don't you have a seat?
Rob, once this is video ready, put it on social media, please.
Yes. Okay, sounds good.
Unfucking believable, this movie. It's so strange. I don't know why. But it gets even weirder. Okay, drunk dad, we mentioned before. Here it is. Here's the clip. It's Kate Beckinsale's Carol's father. And he gets about a minute and a half of total time in the movie. And for some reason, they gave him this very strange soliloquy where he's trying to win over the parents of Matthew McConaughey, who are both little people, by introducing some humor over drinks at dinner. This is number
1, Daddy.
Drum roll, please. Humor. Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it.
Third fart joke of the worst dialogue. This is Farter.
There once was a young fellow from Sparta who was a real whiz as a farter. He'd fart anything, from God Save the King to Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. He'd fart a gavotte for a starter, and then a Handelian cantata. Boost up his ass, blast, box, B minor mass, and then counterpoint. Traviata.
That has to be the lesson.
It was a limerick.
Limerick, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it was a limerick. A little. Is it okay if you? What he like double it?
I think it was
double down.
Yeah, he just like extended the rhyme scheme. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I should have repeated that for my limerick this week.
Yeah, that would have won.
Damn it.
Oh, yeah, damn. Yeah, I got the finger instead. Oh, gee.
I gotta save that for like a year from now.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so good. Set like an alarm or like a calendar update for next year. So the wife is like, no, Kurt. Right when he starts, right? She's like trying to sneak it in. One, she knows it's not going to be successful. She really didn't try. But two, that means that he says that at every dinner where he's trying to entertain people. It probably took him forever to remember because there's like a Mongolian cantata. I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. I guess I'm not well educated enough to understand half of the references. I almost asked you, Rob, to play this twice so we can make heads or tails of it. But I'm not sure that we should. Maybe we'll play out with it or something.
Play out with it. Yeah, let's do that.
I want to hear it again. I do, but I don't want to make everyone suffer with us once more. So there you have it. That is number one. That is so strange. If you want to see something crazy, go to our YouTube video and watch it. Rob, where can they find that?
www.theworstmovieevermade.com for all of the Worst Movie Ever Made content and socials and everything and emails.
Yeah, just a sultry tone you have there. You go there and you watch the father's face when he delivers these lines. It's extremely strange. You guys have seen Caddyshack, yeah?
Yeah.
You know when the judge is like, "Well, we're waiting," and it's like a comedy moment where they zoom in on his face and like he's all lit up. That's what he's doing. This guy is doing that face, and I'm
Yes,
not
he
sure
is.
why.
He is.
It's for comedy, and you're supposed to laugh and stuff. But why this guy for a minute and a half out of nowhere in this movie gets this soliloquy about farts because the director thinks farts are really funny. Apparently, I guess I don't know. Let's pass it on to test number 5. The worst production.
Hey, dirtbag. You're a lousy
production.
I don't like lousy
productions.
You wasted a kid for nothing. Now I think it's time to waste you.
All right, worst production this week. Simple tagline: no protagonist / antagonist.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I mean I feel like this goes strictly to writing, but really it's shooting, it's directing, it's editing, it's completely a production issue. I mean,
it is.
So I'll see if I can make this as quick as I can. First, the conflict
No worries.
is that he doesn't reveal his family. That's kind of a conflict.
That is.
But then it's revealed without much drama because she's like cool with it, and then that's like the end of the first act. And then there's a baby, and nobody really is an enemy. Because there's a mom and a dad, they're having struggles, and there's minor drama, but then the second act kind of ends. And then there's a relationship issue with, again, some minor drama, but no clear protagonist or antagonist. They're just having difficulties, and the movie keeps trucking along without any hint of a clearly defined conflict, character development, or moral, issue into the third act. The movie is merely a collection of scenes that connect in a clunky and almost arbitrary way, and it all ends with an uncomfortable and not very genuine looking kiss.
Ain't that the truth, Bob? Amen. So it's almost episodic. It's almost serial.
It's like Pulp Fiction, which we did at the end of last season.
Yeah, only that collection was tied together, laced very well by Bob's favorite director. Of all time. This seemed to have no rhyme or reason. It's not something that you'd want to even watch on Hallmark if it were 3 half-hour episodes. For sure.
I would tune out after episode 1.
No, for sure. I mean, the first half hour would be like, I don't know, what is this? Little people struggles. It's like I've said before in our text stream, it's like a PSA. But also, I said that the director might be a little person, but maybe that's not true because like little is also used for humor, and there's weird. It's not just a let's like praise little people or let's shine light on how difficult it is to be a little person, like I thought it would be. I don't know. It's a very odd collection of scenes.
It's almost like he feels like she should have a bigger problem with this than she does. And because she doesn't, he's more mad.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's projecting his own insecurities, and they don't really deliver that in such a way where it's evident. Yeah.
He's such a fucking douche, though, in this movie.
His character.
I hate his character. Yeah. All right. Let's throw it now that I've jotted that down to test number 6, the worst acting.
This is where the law stops. And I start
acting badly.
All right, number 1, Money Man.
And Chris, I told you when I was getting these clips, I went long on a couple of them. This is one of them, and the
Makes
reason
sense to me. I get
will
it.
make itself apparent.
Mm-hmm.
You need some money, man? How much you need?
Who is this man in your bedroom? Huh?
Let's cut the bullshit. You just tell him what you just told me and get it over with.
What is this man doing in your bedroom?
It's none of your business, okay? So why don't you just get all your shit together and get the hell out before I call the cops?
No, I want to know now why this man is in your bedroom.
Well,
it's because we are gonna fuck, okay? Is that what you want to do?
Adrizi, we're not fucking.
So just get your unemployed ass out of my apartment now.
But all those things that you told me in the darkness, you said I was the sexiest stud you had. You opened your heart to me.
Better keep your mouth shut, Adrizi.
You told me I was a hunk, Sally.
Shut the fuck up!
In a while, man. This ain't gonna seem like such a big deal.
You big Sally! You fucking whore! He's lost! Nothing left, Sally! No, you get out of my way now!
Stop it! Get off of him! Stop it! Don't put your hands off of him! Stop it! No! Get off of him!
So I had to include for the YouTube audience Gary Oldman getting dragged through the doorframe and getting punched several times before the girl smashes the landlord's face with the radio.
Also, you get to see Gary Oldman's legs there,
Yeah,
as he's running away. But really not. I think that was the mean-spirited point that the YouTuber was trying to make, is that it's funny to watch the actor pretending to be Gary Oldman run away, which they do cut to an obvious body double often.
It's the in the music. I always listen to the musical cues, like because like we have like some movies where they're really trying to deliver something poignant, and like the strings are swelling, but the dialogue's not there, so that's why we find it funny. But this is clearly like. Boom, boom, it's meant to be quirky. It's meant to be funny.
Yeah,
it's comedy. It's totally comedy.
It sounds like Gigli.
Yeah,
you know the beginning when he's like got the guy in the washing machine or whatever. It sounded like that.
Gigli. It's like Gigli, or any moment in Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. Very good, man. We're on today. All right, number 2. Had to go with Long and Hard.
So, you and Steven are getting married.
Yeah. I think maybe you wanted it to be a surprise.
Why? Now that you're expecting a baby, having to grope around in a fog of uncertainty.
If I have this baby and it turns out to be little, what does that mean in terms of raising him?
There'll be rough patches, there's no doubt about it.
But that's what life is all about. Dealing with hardship. If a person can't deal with that, then they can't ever be happy.
Would you have had us again, Daddy?
I'd have to think long and hard about that, kiddo. Long and hard.
I think what Carol's thinking about is the medical aspects of the situation.
Yeah, that's totally
way to save her on that conversation.
Yeah. Well, I could certainly give you a list of doctors to call and provide you with some literature on our organization.
That's a good idea.
Look at it when you get a chance.
I will. Thank you. Thanks.
Like, oh yeah, that's right. There's medical issues. Yeah, call.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole problem with it. That's the PSA element. It's like, I'm just wondering what the issues are going to be if I have a baby that is a little person like you. And I figured you guys are the perfect group to tell me. And then they do give her some information, blah, 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 blah. But the joke from dad to kids when the kid is like, would you have us again, Daddy? And he's like, I'd have to think about that long and hard, kiddo. Long and Hard is acted extremely poorly. I'm sorry to that dude. It's awful. But also it gives you a sense of why I thought it was kind of a PSA for little people. At that point, I was like, they're just trying to tell us how hard it is and for us to empathize, not sympathize, right? And I do, genuinely, for whoever it is out there that feels like they want to hear this. I understand, but I don't get your plight. I can't get it, but I understand that it must be difficult.
Do you think this movie was written by, like, this is pre-Tinder, but do you think it was written by the personality type that's like, because he's under 6 feet on Tinder, he needs to like make a case for short people?
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
That is a thing. Yeah, that is a thing. Number 3. Americans.
You don't approve of my methods, and I don't approve of your methods.
Do you mind not doing that, please?
Oh, doing what?
Waving your finger in people's faces. It's rude.
Hey, you better back off, Goldie Hawn. My man can do what he wants to do.
Listen to me, because I want you to know what I think about your organization. You go, we are the little people. Please, we are so cute and cuddly. Don't discriminate against us.
Our organization has battled long and hard to sweep away those stereotypical images.
Long and hard.
Another thing, I think
Long
the
and
term little people
is demeaning.
Right. What sort of political activity do you suggest we create once we disband because we're so bourgeois?
What you people don't understand is that political power, it grows out of the barrel of a gun.
Yeah, right. Now you want us to go out and commit violence in the streets. We don't do that here. Americans don't do that.
Oh, Americans.
Yeah, the people that saved your ass during World War II.
Oh, now you want to talk about the fucking war.
Why are we talking to this guy?
He is very passionate.
Don't you patronize me.
Yeah, I love Peter Dinklage. I think Tyrion Lannister is one of my favorite characters of all time. I might get him tattooed on my arm along with a whole bunch of other stuff.
Do it.
He is not good here, and I've said to Aaron before in my life that he can overact.
Yeah.
Even in Game of Thrones, he's sometimes he is one of the best actors I've ever seen. Sometimes, I mean, in Elf, I hate to say it, it's another role where it's taking advantage of his size for comedy purposes, which is not great. But he's really good in that role.
I recommend this. I recommend The Station Agent, and I would almost recommend that for a good movie episode. It's that good.
I'm not surprised that that he has something that you've seen that you love, because I really do think he can be great. But in this movie, he's an overactor. Like you said, Bob, his French accent's not good. In Game of Thrones, he's great. He's just great. For the most part. Okay. And this is the last clip of the day.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, you're good. I mean, somebody said it in the YouTube comments, but they said it wrong. Matthew McConaughey's Steven does not say I'm a midget. He says, I'm a dwarf.
Yeah.
What? Just say the word one time, girl. What's his condition? Huh? 10 months you hadn't said it one time. What's his condition? Why is he crying? Why is he hurting? Because he's a dwarf. Carol, he's a dwarf.
He's a baby and you're scaring him.
He's a baby and he's a dwarf, and that ain't why he's crying. He's crying because he hurt.
Fuck
His
you,
inside can't get outside.
Fuck you.
One time. One time. Say the goddamn word. He's a dwarf. I'm a dwarf.
See what I mean? 2 points to make. See what I mean? He delivers that straight.
It's great.
It's
good.
Fucking amazing. That's the first part, and the second part is babies cry.
That's true. They certainly do.
Like that's what babies. That's like 70% of what they do. So like, the baby's not crying because it's a dwarf. It's crying because it's probably hungry.
Right, and also, how old is the baby in this scene? Like 2 months? Like
months
on,
old. Yeah,
cry.
months old.
Weeks or months.
If you make
if they're not sleeping, they're crying.
Yeah, if you make it a year and they still haven't stopped crying, don't be surprised.
Yeah, seriously, we've all been through the ringer. It sucks.
Yeah.
But Beckinsale is just awful in that scene. It's
She's
not
awful in the whole movie.
Yeah, she is bad. McConaughey is almost flawless, honestly, but like his delivery is just swamped down in the fact that he has to just shout things like "I'm a dwarf." Yeah. You just heard it. He literally just screamed that. I don't have any idea why. I don't have a clue.
He sold it, but it's still bad dialogue.
I'm a dwarf.
I compare him to Nicolas Cage on this. It's like he shows up prepared. He's ready to fucking work. He's just like, all right, let's do it.
But it's Ghost Rider.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's got to go, I'm turning into a skeleton.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you have it. There's all the clips. There's the worst acting. This movie sucks so bad that Matthew McConaughey's valiant effort can't save it. Let's throw it now back to Bob. And fact or no fact? Can't wait for this one.
Fact. No fact. Fact. No fact.
All right, so it's called Tiptoes, and I just called it Sickos.
Okay.
Nice.
For the obvious reason. So it's a game, and it's weird with Chad not being here, but I'll do my best.
He's been Chad Smith of the Last Comic Shop podcast has been joining us a lot of late, and will be joining us next week, Bob.
Whenever we do a Spider-Man again, is that next week?
Is it next week? I don't even know.
Let me check my spreadsheet.
Feel like at this point in the Marvel universe, Spider-Man is all the rage, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Let's see, Marvel by
It's
release
it's
date.
the
Yeah,
No Way Home or the
we have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Eternals,
Okay.
then Spider-Man No Way Home. So
Okay.
3 weeks out.
I may watch those with you, Rob. We'll see if I have the time.
All right.
nice. We do a Marvel episode during the Good Movie Week too, right?
No, I give myself a break.
That is true. That is true.
Good for you,
That's
Rob.
it.
Good for
The
you.
good, well, the Good Movie Week is a palate cleanser, and Shang-Chi or whatever is not going to clean that palate, I'm sure. So
It made 90 million his opening weekend, though. People
yeah,
love
I mean,
that
Chad
one.
did say it wasn't bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how much did it cost though? Seriously, okay.
And how
Probably
much
like
does Chad
half a billion? Yeah.
and how much does Chad want it to be good too?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Fact or No Fact is a game we play where I lay out 4 facts and 1 lie about this movie, and the other hosts try to guess what the lie is. So, guys, guess what the lie is. Number 1.
Okay.
Will do.
Dinklage turned down the role of Rolf, which was the lead little person, as he preferred the other character and actually suggested Oldman for the lead as he admired him so much as an actor. Okay, 2. Kate Beckinsale agreed to star in this film for minimum wage, otherwise known as scale, if she was allowed to wear her lucky hat during filming. Okay, number 3. Matthew Bright, that was the writer-director, conceived this film when he was 18 years old as a raucous comedy about little people fucking each other.
Okay, I can see that.
Number 1, I knew that would get Rob. Okay, 4. One review stated, clearly crafted as a wake-up call to nasty normals out there, though it creates a heated hate crime all its own. And number 5, another review reviewed the film saying it comes up short.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Okay.
I have mine. I have mine.
So Dinklage turned down the role.
Next week, I'm going first.
Okay. He turned down the role of Rolf as he preferred the other character and actually suggested Oldman. I mean, possibly. Chicks do love their weird hats. As we've seen with internet influencers, they all wear like giant straw hats.
They do. That's true.
Raucous comedy about little people fucking each other. I mean, I want to say this movie. I want to say there's a kernel of truth in there, and then he brought it to like a focus group, and they're like, "You can't fucking do this."
Is that our Bob foolery?
No, it might be true.
Okay.
One review stated it was a wake up call to nasty normals, and then one said it comes up short. I believe I spend a lot of time on the internet. Comes up short definitely was said by somebody, and it's funny. I'm gonna say the lie is, as much as it goes against my instinct, I want to say the lucky hat is a lie.
Fucker. This is why I need to go first next week. That is also my choice. So much so that I might double down here.
Yeah.
What happens? Does Bob double lose?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's double down. We have a 20% chance now. I will go with Kate Beckinsale was not wearing her lucky hat.
Chris,
scale.
if we both independently thought the same thing, then it has some.
Then we have an 80% chance. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's exactly how it works.
I love your optimism. That's so fucking charming. Okay. So it was actually Variety that said came up short.
Oh, wow. Variety
Not
said that.
I thought it'd be like Reddit or something, but okay.
Yeah, you would think. It wouldn't be Variety.
It was fucking Variety. And then I want to say it was another like Chicago Sun Tribune or Washington Post that said it was wake up call to the nasty normals out there. That was a real review. And Rob, this is for you and you mainly, even though it's for me also. Remember the oh shoot, now I can't think of the name of the movie. It was the one with shoot. I'll come back to it. I'll circle back. Dinklage did not turn down the role of Rolf, actually.
That's the lie?
That's the lie.
And I thought about that.
That's the lie. I made that up because I suggest Oldman for almost anything.
I can't believe that she would agree to do the movie to scale.
Yeah, she did.
Where,
She
so
agreed
that she can wear
and
a
then
lucky hat.
Was
it the one that she wore during the firefighter scene?
I honestly I don't know what hat it was. I just know that at one point the production crew was like, "Take off this damn hat," and she was like, "No," because they agreed that I could wear this hat if I just get paid a
You know
smaller
what?
amount for this film.
If she was still up and coming and that was like her signature, I could see why she'd want to. Because like it's like brand recognition, I guess, right?
Like she's gonna wear
Something.
it and like wear that hat in a scene in every movie or something. She was thinking.
Yeah.
The reason
okay.
that I went with that one, Rob, is that I had heard that Patricia Arquette and Kate Beckinsale were dressed by Victoria's Secret or something like that for the movie. That there was a contract for both of them to be wearing exclusively. I want to say it was Victoria's Secret clothing.
Yeah.
So I thought the hat would
from the neck down, Chris.
Oh,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Victoria's
hats
Secret
are
doesn't do eyes up.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
hats
good
are
point.
not very secretive, are they? That's
All
fair.
right, Rob, I remembered it. Forbidden
Okay.
Zone. Remember Forbidden Zone?
I was gonna guess
Fucking
that
love that movie.
because that was suggested to me.
Matthew Bright was the lead. He was the one called I forget the name of the character, Schizoid, or I forget his name.
Fuck, Squeeze It the Moocher.
Squeeze It. So
Yes, Squeeze
Matthew
It.
Bright, he directed and wrote this movie, and he was the one who played Squeeze It.
All right, I've got to be brutally honest here. The reason I thought it might be Forbidden Zone is because it was suggested to me, but I didn't want to put it into test number 1, the worst of its kind, because I didn't want Rob to put it back on the poll because I don't want to watch it.
It's fucking amazing.
And now that I said that, it's gonna go back on the poll. I'm not happy about that.
I never really. I know, like you have a collection of DVDs, and Bob, you probably do too. You have like LPs and stuff too. I never really bought physical media in the way of movies. But I spent like $45 on the Japanese import of Forbidden Zone because it was shot in black and white, and some animation studio hand colorized the entire movie, and I had to have it.
Hot damn.
Forbidden Zone is an art piece. It should not belong in this podcast.
Okay, that's fair.
Fair enough. You hear that, Rob?
Yeah.
That doesn't go on the poll.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's throw it to the catch-all.
And now it's time for the catch-all.
The doors suck.
Gary Oldman doesn't look little.
No.
That's a
he doesn't.
problem.
He had a prosthesis on his head to make his head look bigger.
No shit.
He did.
No shit. And he had the hunchback.
That too. And he also, according to the YouTuber, and they were right, you can see his legs in a couple scenes because the CGI doesn't quite work.
No shit.
Right.
So you can see like his legs going back from like where the knees would be?
Yes. There's a couple early scenes when I'm like, what's he doing? Walking on his knees? And I'm like, oh, yeah, you can see.
Oh, he's definitely walking on his knees for sure.
Yeah.
The next thing I wrote, and we already covered, so I'll just keep going. French accent, dinklage. Not the best. Montgomery doing the jazz lean in the beginning when he's doing the dance. He does it. I've seen him do this move in a couple of movies. Like, oh yeah, he's just like leaning forward and like doing the hands, and it's fucking uncomfortable for me. I don't know what it is. I wrote Muscle McConaughey. No, not McConaughey. McGonaghy.
McGonaghy.
It's definitely not supposed to say gay. But I like dongs, I guess. He's walking through the bedroom all ripped up.
I like
I'm
dongs.
God damn. There it is. There it is. I love that that's still part of the soundboard.
Yeah.
I'm gay. Everyone's an asshole.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Except for the little parents. They're awesome.
Yeah, they are cool. That's true. Ulcers, herniated discs, little people stuff.
Yeah.
Exclusive to little people are those. Mad McConaughey, he's an angry fireman.
Yeah.
He
Ex-Navy angry fireman.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. He does have that conversation with Kate Beckinsale's father on the couch. Carol just believes that Rolf is Steven's brother with no questions asked. I mean, I think if any normie came to the door and they were like, "I'm Aaron's sister, can I come in?" I'd be like, I'm gonna need to like clarify that before you come into my house. Never mind if Aaron had a little person sister I didn't know about. That would be extra curious, you know. I'm not saying that they would be pulling like a bad Santa scheme on me, where they're going to go through my ventilation
There's no way out of
ducts
this, Chris.
to like steal my valuables or anything. But
No, I'll
your
say
Lucky
it
Charms.
if no one else. If no one else is gonna say it, if a little person came to my door and said my wife's long lost twin sister, I'd be like, "Fuck, come in, please."
Yeah, let's talk about this.
I gotta hear about this.
Let's hang and have a drink, please.
Yeah. So I take issue with Rolf. Stephen and Rolf.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the brothers' names. What are they thinking when they name the two? I mean, it's like very standard American male Stephen and Rolf.
Rolf.
You go Ralph, it's more American. Rolf is an interesting choice. And it's kind of like a double, like it was dealt just a bad hand, you know. Like they named the kid Stephen, and named the next kid Ralph, and he's a little person. It's just like extra tough. Hotel owners should just charge for another night.
Yeah,
Right.
I worked in
Honestly.
a hotel when I first moved down to Nashville, and like just like in any retail or like service situation, your job is not loss prevention. Your job is not to intervene or confront people. It's just like you count your loss. It's built into the budget, and you work around it, so you don't have a liability on your hands.
You know what wasn't built into the story was the subplot that they were planning on doing, I think, where Stephen was cheating on his wife. Because Stephen brings one of his students, the girl that like yells at him at the fireman's muster or whatever for being too mean, to the beach with him. He's having a conversation with Carol on the phone. Then is like, my battery's dying, whatever. I gotta throw my phone into the ocean.
Yes.
Weird play. And then his blonde, beautiful student comes up and she's like, that was dumb, you know, and I got the impression that they're fucking. And now I really hate Steven.
I don't get, like, they never really addressed that. He's just like, you want to go to a party? And then he brings her and he's like, all right, bye.
It's
and then, like,
worse. It's worse than that, because he not only does he bring her, but he brings this other, you know, she's Asian. I don't know her descent, but another hottie with him, and they're both in, you know,
bright red dresses.
Yeah, they like
Yeah.
they're all done up and stuff, and it's like he's trying to elicit some kind of reaction from Carol, and I'm really hating him, but nothing comes of it. So I'm like, were we supposed to just think that he's just got hot students and he doesn't find it weird to bring them to a party?
Yeah,
they're
Yes,
not.
that's
They're
it, exactly.
normies. Yeah, so that I don't know. That's pretty fucking weird.
Yeah.
Truck drivers are all on crank, and they all love transsexual prostitutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That could have been a most offensive, but it was just snuck in there from Patricia Arquette, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty strange line of dialogue there. Carol literally says she was in shock because his family is small at one point. Could have been offensive as well. It's kind of a twisted PSA about living as a little person, and I've kind of said this already, but it is a PSA, but there's also elements that seem anti little person. So hard to get a grip on what the moral of the story is.
Yeah.
Overall, like I'm not like I tend to seek out things that are offensive, but I just found like this whole thing, and not in poor taste, but just kind of mean spirited, just a little mean spirited.
I think it is mean spirited. Yeah, I agree. McKinda Lame is being such a douche in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like that. Kind of lame.
Yeah, thanks, bro. I kept working with it, and it wasn't coming together. And I called him McConaughey, and I didn't mean to, so I made fun of myself. But you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, the conflicts in this movie don't have the weight and consequence that they're acting like they have.
Right? None. Not at all.
No.
Yeah, normally when you're an underemployed artist with a newborn and your husband walks out on you, you don't immediately find a new living situation overnight.
That's true.
Awfully convenient.
That seems like the biggest hurdle in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's the lesser played of all the problems.
Yeah.
All right, allow me a moment here. Rolf was beaten out by this dude. He says he's probably in jail by now to Carol. But he didn't stick around, so Sally could be dead. And there's no evidence that the guy beat him up in the first place. So the guy's definitely not in jail.
Right.
Yeah. Sally isn't beat up. Sally might be in jail for hitting him over the head with a keyboard. He didn't stick around for the police to arrive, so it's a whole fucked up situation that Rolf caused. And if Sally's going and fucking Jerry for, as retaliation, I don't blame her. Yeah. How's that?
Fair.
Yeah.
You go get that dick, Sally.
Oh boy.
He was punched in the face repeatedly and has no sign of damage. What is this, wrestling?
It's like every action movie we ever covered on the show. Jean-Claude Van Damme will get shoved through a wood chipper and have like a little bloody corner on his lip and be like, "You made me bleed," and then start fighting again.
Yeah. The movie is Matt and Kate together in bed a lot.
Yes.
It's a surprising amount. Carol's mother is only weirded out in that whole dinner scene because Rolf is just a normal guy walking around on his knees. He's got some issue where he wants to be like the rest of his family, so he just like padded a hunchback and put like a big wig on the back of his head, just walking around on his knees.
That would weird me out more than little people. If I was in a room full of little people and one guy walking around his knees, I'd be like, "What's wrong with that guy?"
And he's got like shoes like taped to his knees, just like he's walking around like clearly talking in a higher pitched voice than he should be.
Yeah.
I just pictured that being the case, and I thought it would be a way funnier, weirder movie, darker for sure. But is it technically a shotgun wedding?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like you're not supposed to. That's one of those taboo things. You're never supposed to say shotgun wedding. I feel like I'm going to get some hate for saying that.
No, that's part of the lexicon. That's just like you're expecting, but you're not married yet, right?
Yeah. But it's like you don't point that out, But this is fiction, so I can't.
Yeah.
Perfect. Cute baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cute.
Exactly. Yeah, very, very cute baby. Yeah.
When they show the baby, but they show a lot of fake baby.
Oh my god!
You mean like
fake baby?
You mean like the Chipotle in the blanket that she was just carrying?
Yeah, the Chipotle burrito that looks like a football in a blanket. Less crying, baby, please.
Yeah,
like you can introduce it, take it away. I don't want crying babies in my movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Lucy left. That's Patricia Arquette's character. She's in love with Maurice, who is Peter Dinklage. She leaves, and there's like this blow off between Maurice and Lucy, and I'm not sure what that's supposed to do for us. I was kind of hoping that somebody would be together in the end. But the point is, she leaves on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Whose motorcycle did she steal? Maurice's or Rolf's?
Oh,
because neither belonged to her.
Yeah.
Right. No.
Just thought I'd point that out. I'll take the baby. You go to sleep, says Rolf. But I'm going to need a tit in like an hour.
Right. That's the thing. It's the first thing in the morning. He can't just take care of the baby. He just can't do that.
Yeah. No, he can't. Carol and Rolf. That's the ending, huh? That's how the movie ends? Carol and Rolf?
I guess.
She's still married to...
So she's still married to her husband, but now the baby's uncle is now its father.
Yes, we're supposed to walk away with that, I think, or at least they're going to give it a try.
Yeah.
For what reasons? I didn't realize at any point in the movie that they were romantically interested in one another. I mean, Rolf is a nice fellow.
According to internet synopses, synopsis said that she stays with Rolf to learn what it's like to be a little person or to raise a little person,
and she has to pay for that by fucking him.
I just
imagine room and board.
Well,
comes with home wreck-it Rolf.
Hold on. I do love that. By the way, bravo.
Thank you. I do appreciate that because I was pretty happy with it when.
Can
I
you
came
imagine
around.
that premise though, being a sitcom? They're all just waving to the camera like everywhere you go, everywhere. You go.
There's a Rolf and a wife he wants to fuck
the
too.
saxophone.
You guys want to mention anything before we throw it to Rob's Magic Marvel Corner? A Chadless?
No.
Okay, let's do it.
Rob's
Don't
Magic
smash
Marvel
big monster.
Movie
Let's go!
Corner.
Fine.
So Black Widow, 2021.
Indeed.
I kind of enjoyed it.
I have neither of us has seen it, I assume.
You know why I enjoy it? Because David Harbour from Stranger Things, who played Hopper.
Yeah. Yep.
He has a prominent role. He does a great job, but I'll start fielding questions.
Well, okay. Should I go first, Bob?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Powerless Avengers?
Yeah, I mean, I guess her power comes from her indoctrination and her
Infertility.
willingness to adapt and her infertility. But yeah, I don't hate the idea. I think it keeps the Avengers grounded, but also it's I don't know. She could have had super healing or something, or
Yeah, she could have something.
Yeah.
Hawkeye too. I mean, Hawkeye does have a power though. Like they say he's a powerless.
yeah, he could
Avenger,
survive
but,
getting ran over by a 14,000-pound snowplow.
That's fucking awesome. Jeremy Renner, if you don't know, was the actor, not the character, was actually run over by a his own
14,000 pounds, and he broke every bone in his body. He's running on a treadmill better than I ever could. So
I mean, you
I
hire the right people, they can.
I don't love these sensational oh, look at hardship and how I overcame. But fuck, dude, that's impressive.
That is impressive. That is impressive.
He played Dahmer in an early Dahmer docudrama.
No shit.
He did. Yeah, you're right.
I recommend, although it's very hard to watch.
I'm okay. Now I'm interested. Okay,
Right.
Dahmer with Renner.
Yeah,
Thank
honestly, I saw him in that before he was famous. Not to say I was before he's famous, but
Yeah.
I did see that, and I'm like, oh, this is uncomfortable. And then he got famous, and I'm like, oh, I know that guy.
I'm not even sure why he's famous. Really, I mean, he's a good actor, but he's also a nutcase, from what I understand. So
yeah.
All right, Rob. My first question is: given, I almost gave this away in my text to you guys early on today. Given the MCU here, what is your opinion on 2 superheroes named after spiders?
Ooh.
I mean, it's bound to happen. You're just I think most
Is it, though?
superheroes.
Is it bound to happen?
Is it really? Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point, Bob. Is
What
it?
the fuck,
I
Rob?
mean, because
How many
I don't know,
animals?
people
How many
are
animals
only
are there duplicates of?
people are only so creative,
That's-
and there's parallel thought. Someone sees spider stuff and they're like, oh, they can do another spider thing,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Well
loved
defended.
it. I loved it was inevitable. It was like, well, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen
Anyway.
sooner or later.
It's
yeah.
inevitable.
Yeah,
Right.
Guardians of the Galaxy
I
has that
love
big
that.
rock, that big
I love
rock
your
guy that
confidence.
kind of resembles the Hulk. They're both big, super. I'm not gonna try saving this. Let's go.
All right. That is good foreshadowing to my next question. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, cool. Number 2, does ScarJo do any accent work? Because I haven't seen this, or do we believe that she's already lost her Russian accent?
I watched it at 2x, so everything was kind of fast. But she was pretty Anglo, I guess.
Pretty Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Rob.
Okay.
As you can see, I'm losing steam on this bit for obvious reasons.
That's okay. I'll try to keep it interesting. Okay, so every superhero, now that we have ScarJo, seems to be either thin or in very good shape. Do you think it's time for a body positive, slightly doughy hero? I don't feel very seen by the MCU.
Funny you should mention that because David Harbour's character, he used to be like the Russian equivalent of Captain America, and there's a scene where he's trying to stretch back into his fucking like bodysuit, and he comes out, he's like, I still fit, and his gut's just hanging out. But I think certain things should not require body positivity, because if you're going to be like throwing buildings and like taking like, I don't know, like a dozen punches to the face, I think your blood work should be like decent, and you should probably have some abs.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Rob, you need. Here you go. You're asking for these. Take the time signature of the last like 2 minutes and clip it in like 4 30-second clips, because that was fucking awesome.
I almost
that got me good, Bob.
We almost got Chris to spit speckles all over the fucking
Bob,
camera.
you got me good there. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Every level of your question got funnier as it went.
Off-air conversation.
Yeah,
we do need to tell Bob about Fat Spider-Man, but that's
We do. That's true. We do need to tell Bob about Fat Spider-Man. Jake Visconti, we're talking about you.
Yes.
And he's not Fat Spider-Man, by the way. Okay, should I fire away with my third?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, please.
Okay, is David Harbour as good here as he is in Stranger Things?
Yes, he carried the movie because he's very good at playing it straight while also bringing a shitload of comic relief. He's just very deadpan. He knows the assignment whenever I haven't seen his whole like filmography, but everything I've seen him in, he really does a good job at treading that line between like he's really serious, but like he can't resist the urge to crack a joke when the situation presents itself.
Right. Fair
But
enough.
he doesn't go. He's not doing it like Deadpool, where like everything's got to be a zinger. It's just like he picks his moments.
Okay, I just want to say, now that we're on the subject of Stranger Things, which I introduced, I understand. Season 1, great. Season 2 and 3 sucked. Season 4, pretty good.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I stopped binge watching TV shows specifically because of Stranger Things, because I learned when you watch 8 hours worth of movie in one sitting, and then the new season comes out, you're like, I did not retain any of that. And I have a really good memory, but like you can only 2 episodes at a time max for me.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
I can't do it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, so this is actually a slightly serious question, sort of.
Yeah.
Now that Disney owns everything,
yeah.
do you think the MCU should cross over with Star Wars in the future?
If they do, I'm just gonna start voting Republican because I think the world would end faster. And that's the end of Rob's Magic Marvel Corner.
Play him out. Play him out.
Bad credit names.
Yeah.
I'm the Freak. The Phantom Freak. The King of Ninex.
Bad credit names.
All right, wait. How about the Master of Disaster? Huh? You're hopeless, man. Utterly hopeless. Ultra Laser. Dr. Doom. Orwell's here now. He's living large. We have no names, man. No names. We are nameless.
We are nameless.
Okay, score 5.
Man, this is one of our best episodes. I've been laughing like hysterically this whole time. Debbie Datspile.
Ew.
Yeah. Cherub Freed, but it smelled like fried, so Cherub Fried.
Like the little angels with the wieners?
Yeah, it just seemed like...
In case you missed it.
Yeah, little finger. Check us out on YouTube. Rob did a little finger penis. It sounded to me like a fried cricket or something. I wasn't into it. Roger Forker.
Ew.
Oh, Raj.
Oh man, please forgive me for this one. Jennifer Jews.
Okay.
Joos. I had to include it. I'm sorry. And Paul Hyman. That's the winner.
Boy,
yeah,
that's the winner.
sorry, Paul. That's rough. Just that's the winner.
Do you think when they like arrived to the country on like Ellis Island and like they are like, we come from a long lineage of gynecologists, and they're like, all right, you're the Hymans now.
Read it in the journal entry. Oh man, that's perfect. All right, let's throw it to the offensive mini game. I did this one ahead of time because I felt embarrassed last week.
All right.
The
Okay, this is a story about my mom and dad.
offensive
White and one was black, and I bet you think you're glad.
mini game.
My skin is very tan.
Go downtown and get some downers. I gotta listen to that song. I haven't listened to that song this whole season or in a long
Sounds
time.
like a Tony Hawk's pro skater.
Probably it's
Kind of
Guttermouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in that genre.
My friend Jake from Thimble. Hey Jake, what's up? Showed me a meme the other day, and it was Tony Hawk's prostate, and it was just a guy like leaned over like a table, and there's a doctor behind him. Anyway, we're gonna start with gratuities.
Okay.
Or not so secret sexies.
Not so secret sexies, because that's like a violation of someone's privacy. Whereas with Hard Ticket to Hawaii, we the selling point was boobs. I think everybody knew
tits,
that.
yeah.
I think every female lead in that movie knew what they were paid to do in that movie.
Right.
Yeah, fair.
And this was filmed so uncomfortably.
Yeah.
It really was. So we're going not so secret sexies, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Speaking Spanish to sumos.
Right.
Or boozy breast milk.
Well, the sumos is more offensive.
I think so. Yeah, because I think in an ideal world we want everybody to pump and dump after they drink, but like, I mean, if your kid's screaming and you had a beer, like you're probably just gonna. You're probably just
You
gonna
had that so at the ready. That's impressive.
I'm just saying, like, it's not like I wouldn't frown upon it if somebody had like a beer and then like breastfed their child
that's
within
fine.
like a
Yeah.
half hour, you know?
Yeah, and then the kid's just out cold immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna
Okay.
throw pump and dump into my curriculum this week just to see what happens.
Yeah, with the taco and whatever. Gary gets the gig.
Yeah.
Or Hansy host.
Oh, that host was so bad. I'm going to him all the way.
Handsy host, but like the image forever of like, because Bob, you said in the past, like casting calls are very specific. They're like, we need someone with a pot belly who's got like, you know, hairy shoulders, like to fit this. You know what I mean? They pick weird things. So I can imagine like they had a height requirement, and there's a line of little people, and then like Gary Oldman just standing in the back, like kind of like hunting down, going like, I think I'm a
That is a funny visual.
I forgot to tell you that even though Dinklage did not suggest Oldman, he defended the choice.
Okay.
No shit. Because Dinklage is the fucking man. I'm telling you, he's so cool.
He is.
He really is. Okay, so it looks like we're going with hard ticket to Hawaii. Might as well have been hot ticket for offensive. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, cool. So let's move on then to the movie comparison. We have some numbers already.
Yep. Fight the real enemy.
Okay, hard ticket to Hawaii, our current season champion against Tiptoes. Boy, you'd think if Tiptoes couldn't win on offensive, then it doesn't stand much of a chance. But with the worst of its kind, it's 39.2, surprisingly in worst of its kind for hard ticket to Hawaii. And Tiptoes came in with a negative 45.8 and worst of its kind. So Tiptoes actually wins the first bid here.
Okay.
Bob, you got a 4.63 on hard ticket, and I'm a little upset about that because I was outdone with my 4.5 this week. So nice win, Bob. Nice win, hard ticket, 1-1.
Yep.
Offensive minigame, we already know goes to hard ticket to Hawaii. We just did that.
Yep.
So dialogue, what's worse, Tiptoes or hard ticket? I think we know the answer to that one.
It's got to be hard ticket.
It's absolutely hard ticket for me. That's a consensus. Rob, you agree?
Yeah.
Laughable effects for hard ticket, or no protagonist or antagonist for Tiptoes.
I'm going the protagonist antagonist.
I am too.
Yeah, because at least in hard ticket, like there was a story trying to be told. I mean, like it was a B movie. What?
Not really, but it was a B movie. It was.
It was a B. Yeah, it's like they knew what they were doing and they did it.
Yeah,
like, you know,
they had like a drug through line, a creature through line, a boob through line, and you know.
I mean, they're basically, even though it wasn't that obvious, there was a clearly defined enemy and a clearly defined hero, even though they were all awful.
Yeah.
That is a fair summary. And I will say, based on Matthew McConaughey alone, I'm going for Hard Ticket for acting.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Demerits, we have massively offensive for Hard Ticket.
Yeah.
What do we have for Tiptoes? Nothing yet.
Massively
Gary
offensive.
Oldman.
Massively
Okay.
offensive.
So that's a wash.
Yeah.
Unless you say otherwise. I think one massively offensive washes the other. So I'm going to get rid of those, and we will take a 4-2 victory for the worst movie of the season, Hard Ticket to Hawaii. Bob,
You know what?
here's
That's
the
fair.
good news. Go ahead, Rob.
That's fair. I agree with
I
that.
agree. It feels right.
Yeah.
Feels right.
The good news that I was alluding to before, as if you don't know already, Bob has been trying to get this movie through the net of the viewer forever. Fair Game 1995 is next week's final bad movie episode. Cannot wait to see a Baldwin I've never heard of and Cindy Crawford act in some bad version of what was the movie that we did that this is an adaptation of the same story.
Cobra.
Oh my God! Fair
You know,
Game.
like the last several months, Bob's been tossing and turning in bed, like dropping his snow globe, going fair game. He finally got it.
The thing that fucked me up so bad was Chris teased us today. He's like, the next movie is available free on YouTube. And I looked up both movies, and they're both available free on YouTube.
No shit. Oh,
And
that's perfect.
I'm like, God damn it, he knew he was doing. Okay.
Yeah.
I cannot. I will not claim that I knew what I was doing there. But yeah, Fair Game. I can't wait to see that. It's weird because I've been trying to get Tiptoes through for I don't know seasons now. And Bob, you've been trying to get Fair Game through for a fair amount of time. So it's kind of befitting that I should get Tiptoes through, and then you Fair Game. What was before Tiptoes? Special Ops? Double Team?
Double Team.
Double
Double
Team.
Team, yeah.
Okay. Well, that was not a Rob's. Okay. Rob, I feel like you did get one through this.
Abe Lincoln. I tried Abe Lincoln several times. Yeah.
Well, before Tiptoes was Hard Ticket, actually.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Good point. So there you have it.
It's fitting because we did Cobra, and all our clips are Cobra, and I'm gonna have to replace all our clips with Hard Ticket. And
oh well, it's so perfect because this is the last episode. Next time you hear a bad episode after next will be all new bumpers for season 31, season 32,
31.5. We're
31.5. Oh yeah, we're going like the Lion King. Yeah. Okay, cool. So Fair Game for next week. You check it out on YouTube. It's free. We're going to try to remind you where you can find these things so you can watch along with us. We try to do free movies. Rob, why don't you tell them where to find the rest of our stuff? Send it to Bob for the last word, and then we have a clip to play out.
Yeah.
But I want to say real quick, bye, Jelly School.
Bye, Jelly School. www.theworstmovieevermade.com. That's where all of our stuff is. That's where the polls that we talk about to choose next week's movie can be found. Bob does trailers. We post funny clips from the show. It comes with a strong recommendation. You always listen to the most recent episode because we get better with age. But then go through the archive and find a movie that you particularly hate, and see what we have to say about it. That's the way to do it. And then you can also email us and go on TikTok, Instagram, and all that stuff.
Email us, make fun of us.
Yes.
Suggest a movie. It'll get through. Bob, your last word.
Lucky Hat.
Lucky Hat. Love it. Let's play that clip.
All right, let's do it. See you guys next week.
There once was a young fellow from Sparta who was a real whiz as a farter. He'd fart anything from God Save the King to Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. He'd fart a gavotte for a starter. And then a Handelian cantata. Boost up his ass. Blast, box, B minor mass. And then counterpoint. Traviata.
That has to be the last one.
See you next week, guys.
So uncomfortable.
It's so hard to hear.
Fuck this movie.
Oh, it reminds me of Tank Girl, if I didn't say that.
Oh,
you know the like little sax solo that the dude does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like ethanol,
petrol fueled lava lamp cock
yeah,
rings.
yeah.
Oh god.